Oscar Leonard Carl Pistorius OIB is a South African sprint runner and convicted murderer. Both of Pistorius' legs were amputated below the knee when he was 11 months old. He was the first athlete to compete at the Paralympic Games and Olympic Games, competing in sprint events for below-knee amputees in Paralympic events, and in non-disabled sprint events. After becoming a Paralympic champion, Pistorius attempted to enter non-disabled international competition, over persistent objections of the IAAF and charges that his artificial limbs gave an unfair advantage. Pistorius eventually prevailed in this legal dispute. At the 2011 World Championships in Athletics, Pistorius became the first amputee to win a non-disabled world track medal. At the 2012 Summer Olympics, Pistorius became the first double-leg amputee to participate in the Olympics. On Valentine's Day in 2013, Pistorius fatally shot his girlfriend, model Reeva Steenkamp, in his Pretoria home. He claimed he had mistaken Steenkamp for an intruder hiding in the bathroom, but he was arrested and charged with murder. At his trial the following year, Pistorius was found guilty of culpable homicide. He received a 5-year prison sentence for culpable homicide and a concurrent 3-year suspended prison sentence for a separate reckless endangerment conviction. In November 2014, prosecutors asked the sentencing judge for permission to appeal the verdict. Permission was granted in December, and the case was presented to a 5-person panel at the Supreme Court of Appeal. He was released on house arrest, and on 3 December 2015, the appeal court overturned the culpable homicide verdict and convicted him of murder. Pistorius appeared in court on 13 June 2016 to start the sentence hearing for the murder conviction, which concluded on 15 June 2016 after Judge Thokozile Masai-Para adjourned the sentencing until 6 July 2016, when she sentenced Pistorius to 6 years imprisonment for murder. Early life. Oscar Pistorius was born to Henker and Sheila Pistorius on the 22nd of November 1986 in Sandton, Johannesburg, in what was then Transvaal Province of South Africa. He grew up in a Christian home and had an elder brother, Carl, and a younger sister, amputee. Pistorius credits his mother, who died at the age of 43 when Pistorius was 15 years old, as a major influence in his life. He is a white South African with Italian ancestry from his mother's grandfather, an Italian immigrant to Kenya. He is an Afrikaner with Afrikaans as a mother tongue and is also fluent in English. Pistorius was born with fibula hemimelia in both legs. When he was 11 months old, his legs were amputated halfway between his knees and ankles. He attended Constantia Kloof Primary School and Pretoria Boys High School, where he played rugby union in the school's third 15 team. He played water polo and tennis at provincial level between the ages of 11 and 13. In addition, Pistorius took part in Club Olympic wrestling, and trained at Jannie Brooks's garage gym in Pretoria, South Africa. After a serious rugby knee injury in June 2003, he was introduced to running in January 2004 while undergoing rehabilitation at the University of Pretoria's High Performance Centre with coach Amputeted, and never looked back. His first racing blades were fitted by South African prosthetist Francois van der Walt. Because he was unable to find suitable running blades in Pretoria, van der Walt ordered some to be made by a local engineer. However, as these quickly broke, the van der Walt referred Pistorius to American prosthetist and Paralympic sprinter Brian Fraser to be fitted for blades by Icelandic company OSA. Pistorius began studying studying for a Bachelor of Trade and Commerce in Business Management with Sports Science at the University of Pretoria in 2006. In a June 2008 interview for his university's website, he joked, "I won't graduate soon. With all the training I have had to cut down on my subjects. Hopefully I'll finish by the time I'm 30. Asked by a journalist for his sporting motto, he said, "You're not disabled by the disabilities you have. You are able by the abilities you have." Sporting career. Pistorius competes in T44 events, though he is actually classified in T43, sometimes referred to as the Blade Runner and the fastest man on no legs. Pistorius took part in the 2004 Summer Paralympics in Athens and came third overall in the T44 100-meter event. Despite falling in the preliminary round for the 200 meters, he qualified for the final. He went on to win the final in a world record time of 21.97 seconds, beating a pair of American runners both possessing a single amputation, Marilyn Shirley and Brian Fraser. In 2005, Pistorius finished sixth in the non-disabled South African Championships over 400 meters with a world record time of 47.34 seconds, and at the Paralympic World Cup in the same year, he won gold in the 100 meters and 200 meters, beating his previous 200-meter world record. At the 2006 IPC Athletics World Championships, Pistorius won gold in the 100, 200 and 400-meter events, breaking the world record over 200 meters. On the 17th of March 2007, he set a disability sports world record for the 400 meters at the South African Senior Athletics Championships in Durban, and at the Nedbank Championships for the physically disabled held in Johannesburg in April 2007. He became the world record holder of the 100 and 200 meter events with times of 10.91 and 21.58 seconds respectively. Pistorius was invited by the IAAF to take part in what would have been his first international non-disabled event, the 400-meter race at the IAAF Grand Prix in Helsinki, Finland, in July 2005. He was unable to attend, however, because of school commitments. On the 13th of July 2007, Pistorius ran in the 400-meter race at Rome's Golden Gala and finished second in Run B with a time of 46.90 seconds, behind Stefano Braciola, who ran 46.72 seconds. This was a warm-up for his appearance at the 400 meters at the Norwich Union British Grand Prix at the Don Valley Stadium in Sheffield on the 15th of July, 2007. As American Olympic champion Jeremy Wariner stumbled at the start of the race and stopped running, Pistorius took 7th place in a field of 8 in wet conditions with a time of 47.65 seconds. However, he was later disqualified for running outside his lane. The race was won by American Angelo Taylor with a time of 45.25 seconds. Pistorius had ambitions of competing in other non-disabled events. In particular, he had set his sights on competing at the 2008 Summer Olympics in Beijing, China, but was ultimately not selected by the South African Olympic Committee. Dispute over prosthetics. Pistorius has been the subject of criticism because of claims that his artificial limbs give him an advantage over runners with natural ankles and feet. He runs with J-shaped carbon fiber prosthetics called the Flex Foot Cheetah, developed by biomedical engineer Van Philips and manufactured by OSA. On the 26th of March 2007, the IAAF amended its competition rules to include a ban on the use of any technical device that incorporates springs, wheels, or any other element that provides a user with an advantage over another athlete not using such a device. It claimed that the amendment was not specifically aimed at Pistorius. to decide whether he was running with an unfair advantage. The IAAF monitored his track performances using high-definition cameras to film his race against Italian club runners in Rome on the 13th of July, and his 400 meters in Sheffield on the 15th of July 2007, at which he placed last. In November 2007, Pistorius was invited to take part in a series of scientific tests at the Cologne Sports University under the guidance of Professor of Biomechanics, Dr. Peter Bruggeman, in conjunction with Elio Locatelli, who was responsible with the IAAF of all technical issues. After 2 days of tests, Bruggeman reported on his findings on behalf of the IAAF. The report claimed that Pistorius's limbs used 25% less energy than runners with complete natural legs to run at the same speed, and that they led to less vertical motion, combined with 30% less mechanical work for lifting the body. In December, Bruggeman told Die Welt newspaper that Pistorius has considerable advantages over athletes without prosthetic limbs who were tested by us. It was more than just a few percentage points. I did not expect it to be so clear. Based on these findings, on the 14th of January 2008, the IAAF ruled Pistorius's prostheses ineligible for use in competitions conducted under the IAAF rules, including the 2008 Summer Olympics. Pistorius called the decision premature and highly subjective, and pledged to continue fighting for his dream. His manager Pete Van Zyl said his appeal would be based on advice from United States experts who had said that the reporters did not take enough variables into consideration. Pistorius subsequently appealed against the adverse decision to the Court of Arbitration for Sport in Lausanne, Switzerland, and appeared before the tribunal at the end of April 2008. After a 2-day hearing, on the 16th of May 2008, the Court of Arbitration for Sport upheld Pistorius's appeal and the IAAF Council decision was revoked with immediate effect. The CAS panel unanimously determined that Dr. Bruggeman tested Pistorius's biomechanics only at full speed when he was running in a straight line, that the report did not consider the disadvantages that Pistorius suffers at the start and acceleration phases of the race, and that overall there was no evidence that he had any net advantage over non-disabled athletes. In response to the announcement, Pistorius said, "My focus throughout this appeal has been to ensure that disabled athletes be given the chance to compete and compete fairly with non-disabled athletes. I look forward to continuing my quest to qualify for the Olympics." Attempt to qualify for 2008 Summer Olympics, to have a chance of representing South Africa at the 2008 Summer Olympics in Beijing in the individual 400-meter race. Pistorius had to attain the Olympic A standard time of 45.55 seconds, the B qualifying time of 45.95 seconds if no other athlete from his country achieved the faster time did not apply. Each national athletics federation is permitted to enter 3 athletes in an event if the A standard is met, and only 1 athlete if the B standard is met. However, he was eligible for selection as a member of the relay squad without qualifying. His best chance was to try for a time of close to 46 seconds to make the 4x400-meter relay team. However, he said, "If I make the team, I don't want to be the reserve for the relay. I want to be in the top 4. I want to bring something to the race and make the relay stronger." To give him a chance of making the South African Olympic team, selectors delayed naming the team until the 17th of July. On the 2nd of July 2008, Pistorius competed in the 400 meters in the B race of the Notturna International in Milan but was disappointed when he failed to achieve the minimum Olympic qualification time, completing the race in 4th place in 47.78 seconds. His performance on the 11th of July 2008 at the Rome Golden Gala was an improvement of more than a second, though his 6th place time of 46.62 seconds in the B race was still short of the Olympic qualification time. Nonetheless, he was pleased with his performance, commenting that he felt he could improve on it. On the 15th of July 2008, IAAF General Secretary Pierre Weiss commented that the World Athletics body preferred that the South African Olympic Committee not select Pistorius for its 4x400 meters relay team for reasons of safety, saying that Pistorius could cause serious damage and risk the physical safety of himself and other athletes if he ran in the main pack of the relay. Pistorius branded this as the IAAF's last desperate attempt to get him not to qualify, and threatened legal action if the federation did not confirm that it had no objections to his participation in the relay. The IAAF responded by issuing a statement saying that Pistorius was welcome to seek qualification for the Olympics and future competitions under IAAF rules. The IAAF fully respects the recent CAS decision regarding the eligibility of Oscar Pistorius to compete in IAAF competitions, and certainly has no wish to influence the South African Olympic Committee, who has full authority to select a men's 4x400 meters relay team for the Beijing Olympics, coming third with a personal best time of 46.25 seconds at the Spitzenlicht athletic meeting in Lucerne on the 16th of July 2008. Pistorius failed to qualify for the 400 meters at the 2008 Summer Olympics by 0.70 seconds. Athletics South Africa later announced that he would also not be selected for the 4x400 meters relay team as 4 other runners had better times. Had Pistorius been selected, he would have been one of the first competitors with a leg amputation to participate in the Olympic Games. Pistorius's compatriot Nathalie Dutoit, a swimmer whose left leg was amputated above the knee after a traffic accident, Julie became the first athlete with an amputation to qualify for the 2008 Summer Olympics. Asked about the possibility of the IAAF offering him a wild card to take part in the Olympics, Pistorius responded, "I do not believe that I would accept. If I have to take part in the Beijing Games, I should do it because I qualified." Quote, he expressed a preference for focusing on qualification for the 2012 Summer Olympics in London, stating that it was a more realistic target as sprinters usually reach the peak between 26 and 29. "I will be 25 in London and I'll also have 2-3 years preparation." 2008 Summer Paralympics. Pistorius participated in the 2008 Summer Paralympics in Beijing in the 100, 200 and 400 meters. On the 9th of September, in the heats of the 100 meters, he set a Paralympic record with his time of 11.16 seconds. Later, following a slow start, he rallied to snatch gold from the United States' Jerome Singleton in the 100 meters in a time of 11.17 seconds, 0.03 seconds ahead of the silver medalist. 4 days later, on the 13th of September, the defending Paralympic champion in the 200-meter sprint won his second gold in the event in a time of 21.67 seconds, setting another Paralympic record. He completed a hat-trick by winning gold in the 400 meters in a world record time of 47.49 seconds on the 16th of September, calling it a memory that will stay with me for the rest of my life. 2011 and qualification for 2012 Summer Olympics in January 2011. As trimmer Pistorius won 3 IPC athletics world titles in New Zealand but was beaten for the first time in 7 years in the 100 meters by American Jerome Singleton. He subsequently won the T44 400 meters in 47.28 seconds and the 100 meters in 11.04 seconds at the BT Paralympic World Cup in May to reassert himself as the world's leading Paralympic sprinter. Pistorius competed across a number of non-disabled races in the summer of 2011 and posted 3 times under 46 seconds. But it was at the 19th Internazionale di Atletica Sports Solidarity meeting in Lignano, Italy, on the 19th of July that he set a personal best of 45.07 seconds in the 400 meters, attaining the World Championships and Olympic Games a standard qualification mark. Pistorius won the 400 meters event with a posted time that ranked him as 15th fastest in the world. On the 8th of August 2011 it was announced that he had been included in the South African team for the World Championships in Daegu, South Korea, and had been selected for the 400 meter and the 4 times 400 meters relay squad. In the heats of the 400 meters, Pistorius ran in 45.39 seconds and qualified for the semi-final. However, in the semi-final, he ran 46.19 seconds and was eliminated. In the heats of the 4 times 400 meters relay, Pistorius ran the opening leg as South Africa advanced to the finals with a national record time of 2 minutes 59.21 seconds. However, he was not selected to run in the finals based on having the slowest split time of 46.20. This caused a controversy, as the first leg is normally Pistorius's slowest since it requires a start from blocks, and he was restricted to the first leg by Athletics South Africa on safety grounds. He initially tweeted, "Haven't been included in final, pretty gutted," but later added, "Well done to the South 4 times 400 meters team. Was really hard watching, knowing I deserved to be part of it." Pistorius still won the silver medal because he ran in the heats, becoming the first amputee to win a non-disabled world track medal. Reflecting on his World Championship debut, Pistorius said, "I really enjoyed the whole experience. I ran my second fastest time ever in the heats and was really pleased to have reached the semi-finals. In the relay I was unbelievably chuffed to have broken the South African record, and hopefully my name will stay on that for a long time to come." On the 4th of July 2012, the South African Sports Confederation and Olympic Committee announced that Pistorius had been included in the Olympic team for the 400 meter and the 4 times 400 meters relay races. 2012 Summer Olympics. At the 2012 Summer Olympics on the 4th of August 2012, Pistorius became the first amputee runner to compete at an Olympic Games. In the 400 meters race, he took second place in the first heat of 5 runners, finishing with a time of 45.44 seconds to advance to the semi-finals on the 5th of August. He ran in the second semi-final, where he finished 8th and last with a time of 46.54 seconds. In the first semi-final of the 4 times 400 meters relay race on the 9th of August, the second runner of the South African team, Ofentse Mogawene, Thelen was injured before reaching Pistorius, who was to have run the third leg. South Africa was passed into the final on appeal to the IAAF due to interference by Vincent Kilu, the Kenyan athlete who downed Mogaweni. The South African relay team eventually finished 8th out of the field of 9 in the final on the 10th of August. However, it established a season's best time for the team of 3 minutes 3.46 seconds, with Pistorius running the final leg in 45.9 seconds. Pistorius was chosen to carry the South African flag for the closing ceremony. 2012 Summer Paralympics. Pistorius also carried the flag at the opening ceremony of the 2012 Summer Paralympics on the 29th of August. He entered the T44 classification men's 100 meters, 200 meters and 400 meters races, and the T42 T46 4 times 100 meters relay. In the 200-meter competition, Pistorius established a new T43 world record of 21.30 seconds in his heat on the 1st of September, but he was defeated in the final the next day by Alan Oliveira of Brazil. Pistorius took silver, and then created a controversy by complaining about the length of Oliveira's blades. He later apologized for the timing of his remarks, but not the content of his complaint. The IPC confirmed the length of Oliveira's blades were proportional to his body, with all the finalists measured before the race. The IPC also confirmed that Pistorius had raised the issue of blade length with it 6 weeks prior to the race. SASCOC issued a statement welcoming Pistorius's apology for his outburst and declared the full support for him and promised to assist him in discussions with the IPC about the issue of length and prosthetics after the conclusion of the Games. The IPC expressed willingness to engage with Pistorius about the issue. Australian runner Jack Swift, USA runner Jerome Singleton, and other athletes also expressed support for Pistorius's position. Pistorius won a gold medal on the 5th of September running the anchor leg as part of the South African 4 times 100 meters relay team. The team set a world record time of 41.78 seconds. He was unsuccessful in defending his Beijing Olympics 100-meter title when he came fourth with a season's best time of 11.17 seconds, and the race was won by Great Britain's Johnny Peacock. On the 8th of September, the last full day of competition, Pistorius won gold in the T44 400 meters with a time of 46.68 seconds, breaking the Paralympic record. Achievements: disability sports events, non-disabled sports events, other awards and accolades. In 2006, Pistorius was conferred the Order of Ikamonga in bronze by the President of South Africa for outstanding achievement in sports. On the 9th of December 2007, Pistorius was awarded the BBC Sports Personality of the Year Helen Rollison Award, which is conferred for outstanding courage and achievement in the face of adversity. In May 2008, Pistorius made the Time 100 Time magazine's annual list of the world's most influential people, appearing third in the Heroes and Amp Pioneers section. Eric Weinmeier, the first blind person to climb Mount Everest, wrote in an essay that Pistorius was on the cusp of a paradigm shift in which disability becomes ability, disadvantage becomes advantage. Yet we mustn't lose sight of what makes an athlete great. It's too easy to credit Pistorius's success to technology. Through birth of circumstance, some are given certain gifts, but it's what one does with those gifts, the hours devoted to training, the desire to be the best, that is at the true heart of a champion. Quote, in 2012 he made the list again. In February 2012, Pistorius was awarded the Laureus World Sports Award for Sportsperson of the Year with a Disability for 2012. On the 22nd of August 2012, he was honored with the unveiling of a large mural depicting his achievements in the town of Gemona, Italy. On the 9th of September 2012, Pistorius was shortlisted by the IPC for the Fong Yundai Achievement Award as a competitor who is fair, honest and is uncompromising in his or her values and prioritizes the promotion of the Paralympic movement above personal recognition. According to director Craig Spence, he was nominated by an unnamed external organization from South Korea. The award went to two other athletes. After the 2012 Summer Paralympics, the University of Strathclyde in Glasgow announced they would confer on Pistorius, among others, an honorary doctorate, sponsorship and charitable activities. Pistorius has sponsorship deals worth $2 million a year with Oscar, BT, Nike, Oakley and Thierry Mugler. In 2011, Pistorius participated as a model in an advertising campaign for a Thierry Mugler fragrance called A*Men. In 2008, Pistorius collaborated in the release of a music CD called Olympic Dream. Produced in Italy, it consists of disco remixes of music pieces that Pistorius finds inspirational, and two tracks written for him, Olympic Dream and Run Boy Run, for which he provided voiceovers. Part of the CD's proceeds of sale went to charity. Pistorius also actively supports the Mindseeker Foundation, a charity that works to raise awareness for landmine victims and has a support program to provide prosthetics for victims. On the 21st of February 2013, after previously suspending adverts that featured Pistorius and the line "I am the bullet in the chamber" in the wake of his shooting of Riva Steenkamp, sportswear manufacturer Nike suspended its contract with Pistorius. Her company spokesperson stated, "We believe Oscar Pistorius should be afforded due process and we will continue to monitor the situation closely."